two, and one.
Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Hey, I'm really excited today to be interviewing Nathan Clark, one of the top agents, if not the top agent in the Northeast. Nathan, how are you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Doing excellent. Thanks for having me on.
Nathan, let's get right into, you know what, we're going to do this interview backwards. Normally, I'm like, okay, how did you start with me and how'd you get into real estate? And, we talk about your struggles and trials and tribulations. We will back up the bus and go there, but let's start with what your business looks like right away, just so everyone watching this, like, okay, I need to listen to this guy because he has it going on.
Right now, we are on a smaller team. We don't have a huge team like a lot of people. We got about 14 sales agents on the team. Last year, we did about 620 transactions, a little over $200 million in volume. We're in Rhode Island. We've been number one in Rhode Island for a number of sales since about 2008. So we've been doing quite a good job out there. But we do it with a smaller number of agents. And I think that's kind of one of the most important things that we say out there is, we're not trying to build the Navy. We're trying to build the Navy SEALs here. So our agents all sell a lot of houses and make a lot of money.
Okay, big point of distinction. You see these teams out there and they have like 50 agents, 100 agents on their team, and every agent sells 4, 6, 8 houses a year. No, we're not talking about that. Over 600 homes with 14 sales agents. And I know what that's like because I did that as well. I had top agents. I had, I think like 8 to 10 of them at any time. And we were doing 500 to 600 transactions. Many of you know my story. I was number one in the world for RE/MAX within 36 months of having my license. And I was able to recruit, I'm not going to say top agents because they weren't top agents. I made them top agents. And that's what you do as well. You're looking for talented agents that have the right stuff, and you plug them into a system that takes an ambitious realtor, despite, they might not be doing right, hundreds of or dozens of houses right now, but you show them how to plug into your system, make way more money, and have more time. Explain how that works, because I said before we got started, if you don't understand how this works, or it sounds so good, it's almost like unbelievable. You want to listen to this, especially if you're a real estate agent in Rhode Island. You would net more money partnering up with Nathan than whatever you're doing now, and you'd actually work less. Let's say that I'm a realtor that is in your marketplace. Why would I want to come and join forces with you?
Well, the biggest problem that most agents have and every business has out there, Craig, is finding the business. And we really have the opposite problem. Is we have an abundance of people that contact us every single month. We have over 1,000 buyers and sellers that contact the office every single month looking to buy and sell real estate. What we do, which is really unique, is we give appointments to our agents. So if someone calls in looking to sell their house, we have a system in place that we assign that appointment to the agent, where the agent's not going to look for business, calling business back, which is very different. I think a lot of companies give leads. What makes us different is we actually give appointments.
Okay, that's the showstopper right there. Did everyone get that? When you partner up with Nathan Clark, he's giving you buyer and seller appointments, and these appointments are qualified and they're set up and they're confirmed. So all you have to do is go out and list the house or meet with the buyer. But yeah, most brokerages either give you nothing or they give you leads. And the leads are usually, like Zillow leads, realtor leads, scraped leads, not real leads. And you have to call hundreds of them to try to find a good one. But getting the appointment is up to the agent. Not so on Nathan's team. The marketing Nathan pays for. He's got inside sales agents that call and speak and qualify the buyers and sellers. And so if I worked with you, I just set my day timer. I would be able to book my time off. And I would, whatever time I have open, I've got to be prepared because you're going to fill my my day timer with appointments.
Exactly. And, I think a lot of agents may be reluctant to go work on a team because they think they're not going to have any freedom. But, the agents on my team, because they control their schedule, where, as you said, they open up their daytime or the days they're available. They open that up. They're able to control their schedule where they can have really pursuits of outside interest. For example, one of my top producers, Joe, on my team, he travels all over New England. He plays in a band on the weekend, but he'll sell somewhere between 70 to 80 houses this year by himself, and still be able to play gigs all over New England and have outside interest like most agents on my team, because he controls his schedule. But I think it's important too, is what's crazy about the real estate industry. It's the only industry out there they want you to do all the jobs yourself, from calling the leads back, chasing the leads, booking appointments for yourself, showing people houses, the 119 things it takes to sell a house. They expect the agent to join that company and do all those things by themselves. But what happens is, when you work with me, what's different is you really just focus on 2 or 3 things. And because you just focus on those 2 or 3 things, you have a lot more free time to be able to focus out on outside interest besides just selling real estate. But you also make 10 times more money than if you were trying to do 119 things yourself.
Well, the 2 or 3 things are the money-making activities. I mean, let's be clear on this. What you remove are all the time-wasting, low-dollar, unproductive things that a real estate agent has to do. If you're a solo agent, you're the one maybe taking the pictures, getting the key cut, installing the lockbox, pounding the sign on the lawn, taking care of all the paperwork. So that is deliberately taken away from you. When you work on Nathan's team, well, it's literally, I can only think of 3 things they do. Number 1, you go out on listing appointments. Number 2, you go out and buyer appointments. And number 3, you get coached on how to do the buyer and seller appointments. Let's talk about, okay, so that's a huge thing right there. Imagine just having your day timer filled with listing appointments, not BS appointments, really good listing appointments. They've been vetted, they're qualified, they're motivated, because Nathan has so much business. He wants to make sure he's not running around his team on waste of time appointments. These are real qualified appointments. The coaching, though, and training, the time that Nathan spends with his team is what makes this special, because there's a system to all of this. Talk about the system and the training, the time and effort that you and your team put into training all of the agents that you select to partner up with so they are superstars.
Yeah, the training is really big, and that's what we do upfront and forever with everything that we do, because it's so important. Because listen, the market's changing, things change so often. You have this new thing out there, artificial intelligence, how quickly that's taking over things. It's just really being able to stay on top of all the things that are changing and what's coming down the pike. So we do, actually just left my Tuesday training. We do our Tuesday training every morning on Tuesdays at 9:30, where the whole team comes together for about 2 hours, sometimes longer, depends how much we have to go over. And we discuss all new trends that are coming out there, all the new listings that we've gotten as a team, all the new buyers that we've gotten on the team, able to match those buyers and sellers together. And then right now, as I'm speaking right now, our director of sales is doing sales training, going over basically the 2 parts that you discussed earlier. Is your job is to meet with clients, help them find a house or to put their house on the market. And we go over our presentations to be able to hone our skills so we get better and better and better. I'll go back to what I said in the beginning of this interview here. We're not trying to build the Navy. We're trying to build the Navy SEALs. So I don't want to have 100 agents, 500 agents all selling 2 houses a year, like 99.99%.
Yeah, which is unlike every other brokerage. They want to recruit anyone with a pulse. You're not looking for that. Okay, so let's get into that. How do you determine? Let's say I'm a realtor in Rhode Island right now. Obviously, I've heard of you. I may hate you because you've been kicking my butt, right? And it's funny because Nathan, you'll have people that finally contact you and they're like, I was told that you were the devil, and because he's got such a huge he spanked the realtors in Rhode Island so hard that you're going to have professional jealousy. You're going to have that go on. But who would be a good fit for you, and who would not be a good fit? Who would you say, I don't think you're going to be a good fit for my team?
I'll start with the negative, right? We'll talk who's not a good fit, because our mind's really easy to go there. Yeah. So who's not a good fit is ego. If it's more important that your name is on the sign it's just not a good fit. Not that that doesn't work. You just need to go do your own thing.
It's just a different currency for different people. I mean, I had that on my team. Like if your currency is not money and time, then do not apply for this. This is Nathan is not for you. If you would rather make less money, but it's a big deal to you to have your name and your picture on the sign and on the advertising, but you want to work harder and struggle, this is not the right opportunity. If you want to make more money and only focus on the parts of the job that you're really good at, listing houses, working with buyers, making money and having more time off, this is perfect for you. So how do you establish that, or is that pretty revealing in the first few minutes of a phone call? If the agent's like, will my name be everywhere, my signs on everything? How can you tell?
We're looking for people that are hungry and determined, people that just want to be successful. The best people on our team, we find that they're really good team players. Maybe they came from a team atmosphere of maybe they were in the military, they played sports as a kid. Those people seem to do really good at team environments. But I think what we look for the most is the drive and the hunger, how hungry they are. Because let's just face it, a lot of people get in real estate because they're lazy. And they just want to get into that, sell a couple houses a year, tell everybody they sell real estate. And when I say that, I would say there's about 80% of agents out there are just lazy. And I don't want to offend them, but it's the truth. I don't know how you sell 2 or 3 houses a year and what you do with the other 364 days during the year. But, we're really looking for people that are saying, hey, listen, I'm selling 3 to 10 houses per year, and I want to sell more. I need to provide for my family. I have aspirations that I want in life, and I'll do whatever we have to do to get there. Those people that have that kind of mindset, that can think differently, operate differently, and be able to understand how a team system works and follow a process, really make the most amount of money on the team, because they're able to adapt and really do that. But the first thing we have to get over is that they have to be willing to work. Like, they're not saying, hey, I got 2 hours a week I can do real estate for because I have another job. Yeah. So they're going to be all in. And I think that's what we look at the most, is the hunger and how determined they are to win.
How do you interview people that are interested? Talk about that process.
So the process starts on the phone call. We'll talk to them. I'll talk to the people. We'll invite them to a backstage pass. So the first phone call we have for them is really kind of fleshing out, are they something that they want to take this professionally, this career professionally, where they want to make $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year of net income, like agents in my team do. They have to really be determined to say, hey, listen, I don't have all these restrictions in my life. So we get that. We understand that. There's some people that just want to work 2 or 3 days a week. We do require that all the agents on our team are full-time. They don't work another job. This is what they do. This is their only source of income. If they match that criteria, we bring them into a backstage pass, we call it. And basically, we bring them to the office. We show them how the process works, from lead generation to our inside sales department, calling the leads back, booking appointments for them, how the whole process works. And then they meet agents on my team that make $250,000 a year plus, and how they're netting that money. And I know it sounds too good, so we have to actually have those people meet those agents.
Right. Showing the process must really help, because for most agents, they would look at what you've got going on the back end of this and go, well, I could never do that myself, or that would be very difficult. And then, meeting the other agents that are making $250,000 plus a year. It's like, well, here's one here, here's another one here. You've got social proof. You've got people that are hitting those kind of numbers and still having a great life. Are you looking for draft picks? Is that what we're doing here? We're looking for agents that maybe aren't superstars, but have the potential to be.
We're trying to find the people. I think you just nailed it right there. We're looking for the people before they're stars, that have the opportunity to do that. They're just not giving the opportunities, meaning they have it in them, and our job is to bring it out and do that. Listen, they come to us and like, listen, I can sell. I just need more at bats. And we're like, okay, you're perfect, because we'll give you so many at bats. So you're going to tell me to stop. Literally, I've had agents of the team with tears in their eyes tell me, please stop giving me so many appointments.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. So pretty much you don't want the agent that's too lazy to walk to bat, right? Because you're giving them at bats, but There are agents out there that the appointments are there, the business is there, but do you have the work ethic, the ambition, and drive to seize this opportunity? Nathan's not looking to recruit people that think, oh, this would be an easy gig. This would be, this looks easy here. It is easy, but we don't want agents that, because, we've had this before, Nathan, right? You get an agent that's got potential, but they don't have drive. I had a guy work for me that he could knock out 10 to 15 transactions a month. And he would do that January, February, March, and April. The weather would get nice. And then he would go off to his cottage. He'd made some money. He was good. And then all summer he would spend his money. He would come back in the fall and he'd be hungry. He was making what he needed, right? Versus what he potentially could. And, the way Nathan and I roll is, no, we want agents that are going to live up to their full potential. So that's not everybody. The ego thing, I just stopped trying to recruit agents that, if they were already, doing extremely well, I knew they probably had a pretty big ego. Even agents that aren't doing well, some of them have a pretty big ego. So that's an eliminator right away. So you got to have ambition. You've got to remember why you got into real estate. You got into real estate for freedom. That means you need money and time. Some of you watching this are pretty successful, but you've given your whole life up to it. Let's be honest. How many of you watching this right now, you're knocking out 40, 50, 60 transactions, but you don't see your family, you have no hobbies, you have no time for anything. That is what we call the success trap. Now, Nathan and I know very well the success trap because we live that. Nathan and I, we didn't have a team when we started. We were the team. We did it all, 7 days a week. That's how most agents start is if you've got something going on, you figure it out and you become successful as a solo agent, but then you quickly realize, okay, I need a team or I need to work for a team. That's pretty much where we are here in 2023. If you want to be successful, successful means freedom. Freedom means I got money and time. You've either got to build your own team. So Nathan gives you a backstage pass. He's been working with me now for almost 20 years. You could go, look at what Nathan has going on. He'll show you how it all works. Mm-hmm. You will be blown away. Now, some of you might say, well, I'd like to do what Nathan's doing. But most of you will not do that because he's put the 20 years and the millions of dollars in work and the hours into this system. Okay, so I just want to be clear. You're not going to build what Nathan has overnight. That's why he's not afraid to show it to you. It's like, look what we got going. It's what happens is agents who see what you've got going on all of a sudden have this massive appreciation. And then to be able to talk to agents on Nathan's team that are making $250,000, $300,000 a year. Now, remember, this is net in their pocket. So here's what would happen when I would try to recruit agents. I've shared this story with you before. There was a guy at Remax. I finally recruited this guy. I knew the guy because I'd sold his house and I saw he got into real estate and I called him and he was doing okay. He was making about $100,000 a year. But when I asked him what he was netting, he's almost like, well, what do you mean by netting? Well, what are you spending to make the $100,000? Like he'd never thought of that. He's, well, after I pay Remax and after I pay my advertising, I've got a part-time assistant. I probably spend $40,000, he said, to make the $100,000. I said, well, then you're making $60,000. Let's agree. If you join my team, I said, I promise you would make 4 times that. Okay, you'll make $250,000 or more. And then I started talking about some of the other agents. I said, Lindy, right? Yeah, I know Lindy. Do you think you're as good a sales agent as her? Oh, I'm a better. Well, she made $250,000 net in her pocket last year. So once you get one top producing agent who's doing really well within your system, as you know, Nathan, it's easy to showcase that one agent and get the next one and get the next one. And all of a sudden you got 3 and you got 4 and you got 5. So this agent, number one problem was ego. Craig, if I come and work with you, they used to call in our town, the other agents would make fun of them because I was the first guy to have a team. They'd say, oh, you couldn't make it on your own. You're going to go over and join up with Craig. You're going to be a Craigette. And so that was damaging to this guy's ego. I don't want to be called a Craigette. I said, look, let's remember why you're in real estate. I said, you just split up with your wife. You had no time for your family. You say you make $100,000. you really make 60 grand because you spend 40 making the 100. I'm promising you, because I know you're a good agent, that you're going to make $250,000 or more net in your pocket. Let's have a meeting. So I took him out in a bunch of appointments. I showed him, I got all 3 appointments, by the way. I got all 3 listings at the full commission, transaction fee, and then showed him I had 3 or 4 listings earlier in the day. I said, that's all you need to do. He's like, I noticed that when you show up, you've got this presentation. You say the same thing in the same order and over and over. I said, yes, that's what I'm going to coach you up to do. But you won't do any administrative stuff. You won't call leads. You won't prospect. You won't spend money on leads. You won't hammer in signs. You won't get keys cut. You won't make feature sheets. You won't pull stuff from the MLS. All that will be done. You will be a listing machine. You'll go from appointment to appointment to appointment. Okay, I'm going to come and join up. The first year, guy made over $250,000 with me. Okay, so this is what we do here. We build an opportunity for the right agents to make way more money. Let's talk net in our pocket here. Guys, let's not BS ourselves with gross income. And for a lot of you, your gross income is gross anyway, right? So we're talking net income. Now, if I worked with Nathan, what I would like about this is, first of all, I've got a mentor. Okay, I've got somebody that's played the game. I know a lot of you are watching this right now. Oh, my brokerage provides training. Yeah, training by the broker. Why do you think the broker's the broker? Because most of these brokers are failed real estate agents. Has your broker owner, whoever's training you, are they making millions of dollars a year currently selling real estate? And the answer is no. So you're getting trained by somebody that's never been successful at this is what's happening. And how does someone that's never made millions of dollars, how do they show you how to do it? Answer is they can't. So you've got coaching and you've got all the marketing done for you. And all you have to do is show up on the appointment. And Nathan gives you the listing appointment and he shadows you. You do it, you shadow Nathan. We get this thing drilled down because we don't want you coming back with a story. We want you coming back with a listing agreement, right? So you've got someone here that cares enough about your business because Nathan has skin in the game that he actually has the time and cares more about your success than wherever else you're going to work in Rhode Island. That's what's going on here. Now, what would hold you back from this? 2 things. Number one, maybe you didn't even know about this opportunity, right? So that's what held you back is like you were unaware that there's this new real estate opportunity in Rhode Island that you didn't even know it existed, right? Or number 2, you kind of knew about it, but you didn't believe it, right? You're letting skepticism get in the way because the guy's a top agent, right? So there's a lot of other agents that have been hurt by Nathan's success, right? But isn't this what you want? Don't you want to join the winning team, right? Don't you want to at least explore the opportunity? So what we're talking about here is a conversation. So this guy that I'd sold his house and he got into real estate and he thought he was making 100 grand a year, but he's really netting 60 grand. I set up an appointment with him. He calls me the next day, Nathan. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cancel it. I've thought about it. I don't want to lose my freedom, he said. I said, well, it's the opposite. You're not losing your freedom. You're going to have more freedom here and you're going to have more money here. Finally got him to meet with me, introduced them to the team, showed him the backstage pass, just like you do with your agents, got him to speak to some of our agents. He was with me for 17 years. Yeah. And it all started with a conversation.
And the story is so much that you said right there, but the story we hear over and over again after we meet with the agent, we show them the backstage pass is, first of all, 90% of people like, yes, I want to join after they see how we operate. And once they join, the most common thing that we hear is, why doesn't every brokerage operate this way? And I've been hearing that for years and years and years. And I think it just comes down to is the amount of time and effort and work that it takes to put this together. It's a lot easier to set up a brokerage where you just go out and you find the business as the agent. You go do everything. You just pay me a nickel or something like that, and every sale that you get, and I'll sit back and do nothing for you. And I hear that complaint a lot of times when I talk to the agents is my brokerage doesn't do anything for me. Well, because your brokerage doesn't have any skin in the game. As you said before, is we're building this all out. We're giving you these sellers and buyers that costs thousands and thousands of dollars to produce, not pennies like it's Facebook advertising or something like that. Thousands of dollars to produce these clients. We're giving you these clients because that's how the business works. And we all have skin in the game to help you do your best. And I think that's really important. We're not a competing brokerage. The broker is not competing with you. I think when you go to most brokerages and agencies out there, you're competing with the broker. So if business is coming in, let's say that calls the office and says, hey, we need to sell our house tomorrow. Who do you think's taking that appointment? I don't take those appointments. I give those to my agents. In fact, I haven't sold a house since 2014. The issue is that we're giving all that business. You're not competing with me as the owner of the team or the brokerage. My job is to support you and help you do the best job you can in your position, as along with the other people on my team. We all have the same mission. We all eat out of the same trough from selling houses. We're not recruiting agents where we just want 10,000 agents to work here before we can make a profit. We only want the best agents that can do the best service for our clients. And that really has to be focused on training and doing the best job we can for them.
Yeah, this is for an agent that wants to be elite. You might not be elite, but if you know you've got what it takes, you need to have a conversation with Nathan. What would be the best way for agents to do that, to reach out to you, to have a conversation, to learn more about this?
I'll give you my cell phone number. I got it right here. You can call me right in my cell, 401-529-6160. That's 529-6160. I've talked to anybody about it and be able to help you out, spend some time with your business. And I think it's really important to understand you need to look at your business as a business. As you were talking about before, I have the same conversation with a lot of these agents. Like, they love to brag about the millions of dollars in volume of real estate they've sold. But at the end of the day, it just matters how much you put in your pocket. If I was to do this all over again, I say this a lot of times and I joke, but I'm serious about it. If it failed tomorrow and I had to shut the business down, I would join another team that operates like I operate, because it is a lot of work to build all these things in years and finding what works and what doesn't. To be able to go to a company and net $250, $350, or $1,000 in your pocket. Do you know how many companies you could do that at? Not many. There's not many executives. The doctors don't make that kind of money. I know that it's tempting, the idea that I'm going to keep on building my own empire here by just working. The issue is it's 87% failure rate outside these doors. The agents that come here make more money than they ever made before. I have countless testimonials from agents saying the same exact thing, and they do jump ship. They'll jump ship and try it out. There's never been an agent that's left me that's made more money. I've had agents that are selling 50, 60 houses a year. They leave me and sell 2 or 3. We don't want to see that.
It makes no sense, but that would be ego, right? It's like, I'm going to go out. I've learned enough through Nathan. I'm going to go do it myself. And same thing happened with me. I never had an agent in 25 years that left my team and netted more money off the team. So you wonder what drives that decision, other than ego. Why would someone want to work more and net way less when all the systems are set up? But I didn't have many agents leave me. The flip side of that is I had agents that stayed with me for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for agents that want to have a career at Nathan's office. Okay. Not agents that bounce from brokerage to brokerage. If you're making a lot of money, if you're making $250,000, $300,000 a year net in your pocket, and everything else is done for you, the advertising and marketing, Nathan's an expert at it, and he pays for all of it. Okay. You're not calling leads. You're not door knocking. You're not cold calling. You're not calling 100 Zillow leads to get one on the phone. That has been done, okay, for you. So the appointment is set. It's a good appointment. It's a listing appointment. This thing has been vetted. Now, your job is to go out and get the listing, and get the listing at the right price, and get the listing at the right commission rate. Okay. Now, there's a system for this. Okay. We don't want you to use your system. We want you to use Nathan's system. Okay. This is why the guy sells 600 homes a year. He's going to spend hours and hours and hours coaching you on, here's how we're going to approach this seller. Here's how we're going to determine their personality type. Here's what we're going to determine what they really want. Here's what you're going to say first, the system to this, how we're going to handle the objections. This is how we're not only going to get the listing, but we're going to get it at the right price and for the right commission rate. Okay. Then you hand that listing off. Okay, a whole bunch of things are going to happen now. So you went out on the appointment, you got the listing, you did your job. That listing is going to be broker loaded. The sign's going to go up. The keys are cut. The key box will be installed. All these things that need to happen that you're doing right now by yourself are done for you. What are you doing? You're not doing any of that stuff. You're out at the next listing appointment and the next listing appointment. Honestly, if that's all you had to do all day long is go from listing appointment to a listing appointment to listing appointment, and you didn't have to be bothered with all the minutia. You didn't have to mess around with all the stuff that you spend so much time on, but that doesn't really make you money. I know it needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be done by you. You are going to be the rainmaker because now you're in a position to just be able to do this, and you'll make a lot of money. That interests Nathan. The more money you make, the more money Nathan makes, the more money everyone on the team makes. So I'm going to encourage you guys to pick up the phone and get some further. It's a conversation. He's a nice guy. Okay. Have a conversation with him. Maybe you'll think, you know what, this is not right for me. But how do you evaluate an opportunity without just having a conversation about it? Okay. I think you'll find when you speak to Nathan and you speak to the agents on his team, they've got something really big going on here that's very, very unique. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Give us your contact information, your cell phone number one more time.
Sure.
Nathan.
Yep. My private cell goes right to me, 401-529-6160.
Okay. Now, if you're watching this and you don't live in Rhode Island, you're like, well, I can't join this team. I don't live in Rhode Island. I don't live. What market area do you serve?
Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. So we do Southern Massachusetts, Eastern Connecticut. So if you're in those areas, but we have other teams that work a lot like us that are all over the country too. So we don't have to help you out find another team that you work well on also.
Right. So Nathan has a Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty brokerage, basically Craig Proctor brokerage with license to use my intellectual property for Nathan and all his agents. And we have over 100 locations all over the United States and Canada. Okay. So if you're in a different area, we'll set you up with a Nathan Clark in your area. So if you'd like to book a call with me, you can go to my Acuity Day Timer. Just go to proctorcall.com. So my name, proctorcall.com, no space, proctorcall.com. You'll go to my Acuity Day Timer, pick a day and a time that works best for you. We'll have a conversation about you and your business. Maybe you want to be the next Nathan Clark. Maybe you want to, maybe you have a team right now and you want to have a bigger and better team and you want to plug in the Craig Proctor system. Maybe you'd like to have a Craig Proctor brokerage at some point. Or maybe, like what Nathan said, if he was doing it all over again, he would just go work at someone else's brokerage. In 2015, I wrote a book called The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent and the Rise of the Super Profitable Real Estate Team. And the premise of the book is here in 2023 and moving forward, to be successful in real estate, you're going to have to make a choice. And the choice is going to be you're going to join someone else's team, or you're going to create your own super profitable team. Okay. You're going to join someone's already super profitable team, like the opportunity presented to you today. You can join up with Nathan or one of our over 100 Your Home Sold Guaranteed broker all over the United States and Canada. But it all starts with a conversation. Either call Nathan or book a time with me. We'll do a Zoom meeting. I'll ask you a bunch of questions. You can ask me a bunch of questions. If you don't like it at any time, you can hang up on Nathan and I. It's just a conversation. $0. We're not charging anything to talk to us. We'll give you the information on this, and then you can decide whether you think this is right for you. So Nathan, we're going to put all the contact information below. I'll put Nathan's contact information, my contact information below this video. Anything you want to share as final remarks before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about this before, but I think the best agents that do best on the team here really don't have a mindset of limited beliefs. Is, if you could spend some time with someone that's made millions of dollars in real estate, like I'm able to sit down with you, Craig, and talk and just listen to you talk for a little bit. And I learned a ton of stuff, just stuff that falls out of your head as we're talking, so to get an opportunity to be able to give you or myself a call and spend 15 minutes for free just to pick our brain, I would do that even if I wasn't interested in joining, just for the sake of what can I learn. But those type of people that really want to learn and realize just there might be a better way, a different way of doing things, are really agents that do really well in the team because they can think differently and operate differently than really how they've just been programmed to work. Like when you and I got into real estate, me especially, it was just kind of just do what everybody else is doing in the office.
Mhm.
And I see the crazy things that they make agents do now, from cold calling to sending letters out to begging for business and things like that. And that's just because their brokerage or their office has no clue how to generate business, right? Where if you could really look outside of real estate and see how most businesses operate, and you came and looked at our businesses and my team, you would see that our businesses run just like a Fortune 500 company operates. It's the same processes that's duplicated.
You've got a lead generation department. You've got a conversion department. We got a presentation, a follow-up. It's a real company. Now, most brokerages today, the broker is basically the landlord, right? Yeah. It's like it's the brokerage is all about how do we get 100 or 200 agents working at our office, and we get a small piece from all of these failing agents. We're not looking at that kind of model at all here, folks. This is not for all of you. Okay, again, this is not for all of you, but I think you've got a feel from watching us so far whether this might be right for you. We're not asking for your commitment in any way. Just have a conversation, see if you've got the right stuff to make $250,000 net in your pocket. Set your own schedule. You'll never spend any money on marketing or advertising. You're not ever going to run around getting keys cut, paperwork, banging in signs, running around doing it. That's all off your plate. Nathan's the marketing expert. Everybody knows him on radio, on television, online. Everyone knows who this guy is. You can piggyback on this. You don't have to create the wheel. He spent 20 years and millions of dollars working with me to create this opportunity. Now, of course, Nathan benefits, but you don't care if Nathan benefits if you're benefiting in a big way, right? And everyone on the team is going to benefit. And that's the way it has to work. Because if you partner up with Nathan and you're not making a lot of money, you cannot stay on this team.
Right.
Okay. So, it's a two-way street. Like, you want to make a lot of money, but Nathan expects you to make a lot of money inside this team to recoup the marketing and the time that he spends with you. So he is not looking just to recruit agents. Please understand, there'll be a vetting process here. And if Nathan says, okay, let's do this, it's because he's got the experience, he's put the time, he's basically jumped you through the hoops to make sure that you actually are going to be super successful with this.
Yeah, I mean, great points are out there. Once again, all I can say is, be able to pick Craig's brain and sit down and have a conversation with him. You just learn so much from those things. I don't think you can go wrong. Craig, I've been doing it now 20 years. You've been doing it for how long?
Almost 30.
Yeah, so it's longer than 30. But to be able to pick our brains, be able to get the information out there, it's a win in itself. But yeah, we get excited bringing new people out. I get excited when I see a new talent join and be able to hear the stories from, hey, I was having a hard time making rent to I'm buying my first house. We kind of see the progression of the years of when they start out here, of the things they're able to do and accumulate and just making their lives better. In real estate, it is possible, but it's a different model. Our model, as you said, Craig, is not just building thousands of agents. I think the average brokerage has hit about 60 agents before they're profitable, where they're just a warehouse of agents working there. We're doing it totally opposite of, we're focused on the customer and focused on the agent actually selling real estate. And that's what we do here. We're not agent acquisition. We're not a warehouse of agents. We're in the business of selling real estate, and that's what we focus on.
You're in the business of creating qualified buyer and seller appointments for agents. Everything else is done for you. Most other brokerages are taking advantage of the fact that in the United States and Canada, if you're a real estate agent, you have to have your license held at a brokerage. That's a requirement in the United States and Canada. If you're a real estate agent, you have to have your license held at a brokerage. So most brokerages fulfill that. I had a friend of mine that started a brokerage in Arizona, and he said, Craig, when I started my brokerage, I really didn't do anything for the agents at all. And he said, I was always blown away that I was able to recruit with really not doing anything other than the minimum of holding their license. But he said that was okay because all the other brokerages, real estate brokerages in my city, they didn't do anything for the agents either. And he said anything I did do extra for the agents kind of blew the agents away because it was so much above and beyond what the other brokerages were providing, which is next to nothing other than they hold your license. Okay, that is the minimum. And that's what's going on. That's why a lot of agents, their perception is, well, the real estate broker doesn't do anything anyway. So the only question is, what's the split?
Right.
If all these brokerages are not really going to do anything, what's the split? I can get a 90-10 here. I can get this here. Guys, this is not what we're talking. You can hang your license anywhere. How's that going for you? You hang your license and you got to figure this all out on your own. Or you have a guaranteed $250,000 income. Now, you do have a guarantee that we haven't talked about for agents. Talk about your guarantee that you give agents that jump through the hoops who you think are qualified, and you say, okay, I'm going to open a position for you.
Sure. So I'm going to piggyback on what you said also. So our guarantee is you will make $100,000 of net income, $100,000 or more your first year, or we'll pay you the difference in cash. So I give that to all my agents as part of our agreement because we know you can make that money and you will make that money, and we put that in writing. But I want to piggyback what you said is you have these brokerages competing right now of, they'll give you 100% of the commission, 95%, 110% of your commission, whatever they're going to come up with next. Let me ask you, what's 100% of zero? Right? It's zero, right? And that's what agents, the rookie agents out there, or rookie mistakes I see agents make, is they get attracted by brokerages about how less they have to pay the brokerage to sell real estate for them. And then you got to also think, though, if the brokerage is making 1-2% on every sale, how much can they do for you to help you sell real estate? So you got to ask that question, and you got to ask yourself, what's 100% of zero, right? Because I see that a lot of times. The agents join a company, and they're like, I'm only selling 2 or 3 houses a year, and my broker doesn't do anything for me. Well, no kidding. The broker doesn't make any money because he's paying them nothing, and certainly they can't return that. They're going to make some kind of profit. They're not doing it as a nonprofit organization. So we really have to really be smart when you look at it. Be a smart business person is saying, the number one thing you want to look at is your net income, what you're going to make. And the other thing is how much time you're going to put into doing that. The average agent in my team works 40, 50 hours a week and makes well over $100,000 of net income. Some work less than that. Joe on my team, he'll make over $250,000 this year. A couple agents make over $250,000, $300,000 net income. And they'll do that working maybe 50, 60 hours a week because they decide to. What's really important to understand as the agents on our team is, I think what stops a lot of people is like, yeah, but I got to work 90 hours, 100 hours a week. No, you control the spigot, right? As much as you want, as much business as you want to flow your way, you just open the spigot or close it. If you have enough, you block off your schedule and you say, I got enough clients right now, I don't need any more. And they close the spigot. And that's when I say to myself, that's fine. I want you to live a quality life. I don't want you to be working to yourself to the bone, but I need to go find other agents to take this overflow of business. And that's why me and you are having this conversation, Craig, is because we need agents that passionately want to help other people and really focus on finding people houses, writing contracts, and celebrating the wins. And if that sounds like something that you want to do, you want to be part of, and be part of a team that's growing, doing more and more every year, going somewhere, and focused on where the industry is going, and really being able to set the standards of industry and steer the industry the way that the industry needs to go, this is the team for you. This is the team that you want to be part of.
I hope you guys enjoyed our interview today. Nathan Clark, one of my longest, most loyal Craig Proctor members. He's been chasing this down for 20 years. He comes to all my conferences. He's Nathan, you're one of the best copiers in the Craig Proctor system. And I'm so proud of your success. And it's well-deserved. You're smart. You were looking for an opportunity and you found it. And now you're providing other agents opportunities. I hope you see the opportunity. If you're watching this today, I hope you understand the opportunity that's in front of you right now to make $250,000 net in your pocket work 40 or 50 hours a week in real estate? You're not going to find a better opportunity than that, unless you want to do what Nathan did, which is invest millions of dollars in marketing and coaching and years and years of his time. Like other Craig Proctors do. We have Craig Proctor brokerages, Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty, locations all over the United States and Canada. We have other Nathan Clarks in your location. But if you're in Rhode Island, okay, you're in Massachusetts, you're in, and you know, by the way, if you're in Nathan's area, because you can't avoid this guy. You hear him on the radio, on television, he's in your mailbox. What is this all about? That's what you're going to do. You're going to have a conversation with Nathan, or you're going to have a conversation with me. We'll have the information below, okay? Look forward to seeing you guys on the other side. I want to thank Nathan Clark for spending the time here to do this with me, and I want to thank all of you for watching this. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor, and we hope to talk to you guys all soon. Thank you again for watching. Take care.